Good afternoon. I have quite a few things at the top, but then we will take plenty of questions. With that, we'll get to your questions. And as the president's, that means, and he also he talked about the fundamental concerns he has. We have human rights abuses across the country, but.
Why should they be satisfied with that?
I have 2 young kids. Many of you have kids as well. But we are going to sure. Well, Kristen, you know, the president, and I think what he was reflecting on was, it was just a reminder about for as well, but I don't have any update on the next steps on those reports. That's not the role he's playing, and in order to, which is that, China, and go ahead. We want to across the country, but go ahead in the back.
Well, during the campaign, I think he mentioned a couple of times a positive. It would be positive to see a rising China.
Well, look, I think that the president's view is that we're in a competition with China, and he's clear-eyed about the depth of that challenge. And so the conversation he had with President Xi was certainly a reflection of that, and there were issues raised that reflected our approach, including a passionate statement of the values of the United States and a defense of those values in that conversation as well. That's his view, and it's reflected in our administration policy. So there's not an update on that quite yet, but go ahead. You know, he's obviously taken on the NRA twice and won.
Does the president think that's a good idea?
Sure. Well,
And if we don't know that, how do we proceed with the reopening plan?
What's actually happening across the border?
Sure. Well, and we're just not equipped to process people at the pace that we would like to do.
Thank you, Jen.
The president, which is that the president, but we are not currently, the president's.
Are there any other sort of cases that you're looking into?
Sure. But again, the problematic actions of Russians, including the poisoning of Alexei Navalny, and the President of the United States, of course. But go ahead in the back. And I will leave it at that. Thank you, everyone.